Hello, everybody. Right. Thank you for coming. I'm touched that you all came. That's probably the only connection with the theme. No, not really, not really. I'm going to get into that, but thank you so much for coming. Today I'm going to be talking to you about visibility. I will go into what that means. Even if you're an awkward and camera shy person. I've also got a phone here. I need to work out how to use the slides, so bear with me. This is me, also a very camera shy person. My name's Tulej. I've lived in Rotterdam for 2 years. I'm actually from the north of England. My boyfriend came to watch. Tim's here. So I have a boyfriend. And a kid. What to say? I love drinking Yorkshire tea. And I'm so happy to be here. I'm amazed to be in this church with you all, and thank you so much for coming. So, more audience participation, you'll be pleased to hear. I'm going to ask you to stand up, not right now, in response to a few questions. If you don't feel able to stand, you can just put your hand up or just not participate, I don't mind. But to get us started, it's loosely connected to the theme. Warm-up question. I'd like you to stand up if you have had a dose of caffeine today.
Very resentful sitting here.
Amazing. Okay, quite caffeined up. There's some people who really need it, so you can also sit down again. Okay, next question. Please stand up if you have never been to Creative Mornings before. See. Okay, so we definitely got some regulars. Thanks for coming back, and thank you to all you new people. I've been to one in London and 2 in Rotterdam, so yeah. And okay, next one. Can you stand up if you are self-employed, so if you work for yourself, you're a ZZPer, you work freelance, you have your own business? Please stand up. Okay, good to know. This talk is going to be slightly more relevant for you. It's relevant to everyone. Thank you. Okay, next one. Can you stand up if you have your own website? Good, good, good. Brilliant. Okay. Stay standing, website people. I want you to keep standing up if you have a photo of yourself on your website. Well done. Okay. Keep standing up if you have more than one photo of yourself on your website. Okay. I'm seeing my people still standing. Well done. Okay, you can all sit down now. Last question coming up. Stand up if you feel a bit icky about being visible, so showing your face online to the world. Feel a bit, Okay, this talk is, you're in exactly the right place. Thank you very much. Okay, that's all. That's done. Okay. So, why should we care about visibility? I don't think it's a great word, but it's the best we have for what I'm going to talk about. So, you should care if you are someone, especially if you work for yourself, if you want to attract more clients to work with, if you want to grow your audience, whatever audience that is, it's not necessarily for work. If you have a side hustle, if you work if voluntarily, if you want to raise funding or find collaborators, a really important thing to do is to cultivate connection with those people. And I couldn't do a talk without a reference to Brené Brown, because every single one does these days. In order for connection to happen, we have to allow ourselves to really be seen. What's that got to do with attracting people, funders, collaborators? Okay, this is a photo. I'm going to show you some photos. If you are a designer, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, you know that there are lots of people doing what you do. People could choose to work with any number of people. What's going to make them decide to work with you, particularly if you provide a service, is who you are, what you like to work with, and revealing something about yourself which allows people to begin to trust you, to begin to like you, and want to work with you, or just recommend you to other people. These are all people I've photographed, some of them in the audience, from graphic designers to service designers, sustainable fashion experts, facilitators, marketers. They all understand the importance of showing a bit about yourself so that people can take that step and connect with you. However, this is a quote from Upfront. They work to build confidence among women. Reluctance to talk about ourselves and our work is common among women in particular in every sector, but that's equally true for anyone that is marginalised in some way. And that is a problem because we need people out there, we need representation, and we need to sort of see people we need to see people. But I think there's some unhelpful beliefs that many of us hold about visibility. And I'd love it if any of this resonates with you, kind of stick your hand up or make a sign. Here are some things that come up for people when it comes to talking about their work, showing themselves. If I have to show off to get noticed, I'm not interested. So it can seem a bit like egotistical. I think great work and a good work ethic speaks for itself. The very idea of marketing myself is cheesy and narcissistic. Does anyone resonate with this? Tim definitely does. Yeah. A few people. But talking about yourself and your work will do some good stuff. So it can increase your network, help you clarify your ideas, and help you progress. Another belief that some of us hold is, yeah, but there's so many people that do exactly what I do. The world is big enough for all of us. Ooh. Did I commit a sin? Is that why it's gone red? They know. I'm going to carry on. It's a lovely, warm, satanic light. Sorry, I shouldn't probably say that. So, there's no such thing as originality. And think, what are others not talking about? So what can you bring to the table that others aren't talking about? And the final belief that I think is unhelpful is, isn't this just showing off? No. Because your experience can benefit those who listen. It's about not just showing the glorified side of what you do, it's sharing the journey, sharing the process behind your work, sharing the messy stages. People love to see it. And we also need role models. Another quote that I love, that I'm sure you've heard before, from Marian Wright Edelman, who is a civil rights and children's rights activist. You can't be what you can't see. So you putting yourself out there is potentially inspiring to someone who's wanting to take their first step. So, how might you do it? Or how might you do it even better if you're already doing it? And P.S., you'll never feel ready. Just a disclaimer as well, I started an email list last year. And contrary to belief, email is big, better than Instagram, just to counter what was said before. But I had to send an email. It was maybe to about 80 people that I had on my list. And I spent about 2 weeks editing it, just one email. And I was so nervous. And when I pressed send, I nearly pressed send about 3 times and I didn't. And then I finally sent it and I just felt sick. And all that to say, it's not easy, but it is a muscle that it gets easier. So I'm going to coming at this from a photography point of view, a few tips of things you can do to start to build your own visibility in quite an easy way. And what was I going to say? Also, I have a guide with lots more tips, which you can download. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. So the first one is to introduce yourself regularly. So not just a one-off thing. This is a really easy one. Stick a picture of yourself online. Say who you are, a little bit about yourself, maybe a few facts that people might not know. If nothing else, your mum and your friends will like it and it will give you a little ego boost. And I always say that to my photography clients as a good first thing to do because it is a bit nerve-wracking putting your picture out there. That's a really easy one. This is not rocket science, by the way. I'm not going to tax your brains too much. The next one is to mix it up. So while I love professional photography, I think it's totally great to really mix it up with your own pictures, with videos, with other people's stuff, quotes. This is someone that does it really well. She likes red, so it ties it all together really well. But really just, you don't have to have the professional look. Just, I think turning up regularly is going to keep you top of mind when it comes to people that might want to work with you. The next one is for all these people with only one picture on their website, you can break out of the about page. You can put pictures anywhere you like. Your website is the only bit of the online world that is yours. So go to town. You can put pictures, particularly on the front page, but absolutely anywhere. The more the better, because if people are coming to your website, they're coming there to find out about you, and the more that you can show them, the more they're going to be able to connect and remember you and potentially decide to work with you. The next one, which is a great one if you're a creative, is to show where you work. And this could be your kitchen table, it could be your studio, or your desk, it could just be your bookshelf. Bonus points if you're in the picture, but showing behind the scenes is something that people love to see, and it's a super easy one. Unless your desk is like mine and it's just got loads of scrap paper, it's not very exciting. Just two more, and then we're getting to the end. One thing I really recommend is to be recognizable and be consistent. So if you have a photo of yourself that you love, put it the same or a similar picture everywhere. So LinkedIn, Instagram, your Gmail avatar, your Zoom, and people start to build that recognition. And then finally, if you can, show what it looks like to work with you. So if you're a podcaster, what does it look like when you do that? If you're a coach, what does it look like when you're talking to a client? And that helps the person put themselves in your shoes, in their shoes. Anyway, it helps them imagine what it might be like to work with you. And they're my tips. If you would like more tips, I have the guide I'm going to tell you in a minute. But my challenge for you, should you choose to accept it, in the next couple of days, is to introduce yourself online. So I would like a show of hands if anyone is going to take me up on the challenge. And, we've got some hands. Yeah, keep going. Yeah. Yes, yeah. If you just do it, and please tag me when you do it. If you work for yourself, it's a great way to say, this is who I am, this is what I do, and here's how you can work with me. Because people need to be reminded a shocking amount of times to remember who you actually are. So I would really recommend doing that. And that is it. I have put some vouchers on the seats. If you scan the QR code, you can get a guide with 13 tips of all about how to be more visible, how to use photography to help kickstart your business, and also a little voucher to work with me if you would like to do so. But other than that, thank you so much for coming. I hope this was useful, and I'm ready to take any questions that you might have.